Welcome back, everyone, to another installment of decks that you might see at the Treasure Cup and decks that different ways to play the deck. This time it's Monkey D. Luffy, the starter deck Luffy. The reason to play this Luffy over the other one, over Zoro, is because you improve on matchups like green and blue, because your cards will go bigger. You hit bigger numbers when you're playing Luffy, and you get to play faster and bigger, right? So that's the whole reason why you would like to play this Luffy over Zoro, because you do lose a little bit on the mirror, because Zoro is way better at floating the board and having everything be like a decent started attack, to where Luffy just wants to go tall. He wants to make everything hit harder, while you also develop your board. And you are about the same in the purple matchup, because it comes down to the same kind of place. So let's go to the deck profile. The first one that I have here is a more aggressive Luffy, where you're trying to play your 1-drops here on. Usually the best play that you can do on turn 1 is Nami, because it allows you to already every turn you get to have 2 extra energy to attack with. Every turn, right? So basically you get to play your Zoro attack for 6 and 6 or for 7 and 5, like basically just force them to take a damage, or at least throw 2k counters. They don't usually have that. You can also like on this one, when you attack with this one, you get to make it blockable immediately if you have both of them. And if you attack with if you play this one on curve, you get to immediately have a rush and attack for 9k. And this one is much easier to defend. So that's the whole reason you would like to play this card. You would like to see this card, because this one is the whole way that you win the game, essentially. Because this one has rush, and it's incredibly hard to kill because it's a 7k. And they also have to deal with whatever else you have on board. If you play a Robin, and then you play a Robin, and then you play something else, and you play this one, they have to deal with your Robin, with your Luffy, and with everything else that you have on board, right? So that's the whole reason to play this deck. You are playing cards like in 2 years, so you can see these ones more consistently. And you're also playing your Namis, of course. You're trying to see these 3 cards the most that you can, and especially these 2, because they're easier to defend and they're gonna be they're gonna be how you win the game. I'm also playing Diablo Jumbo in this leader, specifically in this strategy, and with Monkey D. Luffy, it's extremely powerful. So at some point, you're going to be able to put them fast to like 1 or 0 life. And cards like Diablo Jumbo prevents them from blocking, and you're just going to hit hard. Like, force them to keep 2 energy up. And even if they do, you're going to be able to hit super hard. And that's the whole reason to play Diablo Jumbo. This is the one deck that you actually would like to play some amount of this one. Even as a one-off, it could be a really decent card. You're playing Guard Point, because you're being so aggressive, you're not going to be taking your own life, so you want to have some defense that doesn't require you to be at 2 life or less, and you don't want to keep out too much energy. Or you could also play some Red Hawks in this one, but you rather use your energy like in pistols, in developing your board, giving more power to your cards so they hit harder, and you just want to keep something cheap to defend with. That's why you play some amount of 2 mana counters. I'm playing 13 on this one, and yeah, that's a very simple deck, very straightforward. You're just trying to hit as hard and as powerful as you can, and again, you do get some advantages playing against green, because 7k is not hard to it's very hard to kill, and attacking for this number is just consistently every turn. It's gonna put them in a really hard spot, especially since you're playing more rushers. The turn that if you untap with this one, you're playing maybe another one, and then they have to deal with 2, and then they have to deal with this unblockable Luffy, and then everything it makes the opponent go extremely hard against. It's extremely hard to keep up with this deck if they have cards that are hard to kill, and also they have rush. Right, so that's the whole idea to play this first version. Let's go into the next one, which is a different one, but it basically does about the same things. And into our next list, we have the Andres Doval special here. This is the list that he got. He played recently at the locals. He was trying it out. He did very well with this one. This is a more defensive kind of list where, as you can see here, the main difference here, we had a deck profile for this deck. It's just that I messed up the recording and I cannot give you that one. But we're gonna, I'm gonna show you the list that he was playing and some of the thoughts behind the list, right? The first thing that I wanted to show here is that he does not play the one-drop Nami, the one that gives everything +1 energy, right? You're not trying to be as aggressive. You're still aggressive enough where the leader still gives something +1 energy every turn. But you're trying to play more, as you can see, you're playing some blockers here and not like capping out on Chopper, because this one at least has some combo power. You want to be defending your life a little bit, not so much that you like defending everything, but you want to be able to defend with this deck, with this version, a little bit more. As you can see, you have more radical beams and more Gum Gum Red Hawks. So the idea behind this deck is that you're going to be playing one of these bombs here, with the Beckhams, the Changs, or the Luffy, and you're going to defend them. And you're going to try to untap with them as many times as possible. And all of these three here have Rush. And this one has basically unblockable, pseudo unblockable. And Robin and Lod, they have a good pairing, the both of them. They're just trying to control the board and untap with as many cards as you can do every turn, so you can whittle down the opponent little by little. And again, your cards do hit harder than your opponents because you get one extra energy to attach to anything for free every turn, right? So it's easier to make your Luffy unblockable. It's easier to give Rush this one. This is basically a 7 mana play if you want to give a Rush, because since the leader gives one to him and you have to touch another one, since you're not playing the Nami, you're playing this one for 7 energy. So that's why you're not maxing out on this one, but you still want to play it because it's still a really good play on turn 6 if that's what you have. And again, the idea of the deck is to defend and control the board. You have 4 jet pistols and just wait for one of these bombs, the Beckham, the Chanks, or the Luffy, to just finish the game. This card has been really impressive. 7k9 is basically a card that every turn that has to be out combo or blocked, and or just takes a damage or kills something. It's just really impressive for what Andrew told me. Chanks, of course, is a really good card. You playing some Gordons to reduce the variance where you draw too many of this one. You're playing again the Luffys and only 3 Zoros, because you're not trying to be as aggressive as a regular list. You just want to be this one, like to be the curb topper, right? If you already have a board established, you want this one to come into play, but you're not trying to be like, oh, turn 3 I play a Zoro and I attack with a Zoro. That's not what the deck is trying to do. It's trying to more play like blockers, play like Nico Robin early on, and then eventually, once you have a board established, then you play your Zoros, then you play your Monkeys, Rushers. All these cards that have Rush, they get better if you already have a board established, and then you're adding more to that board, right? And then you're using your Radical Beams and your Red Hawks to defend everything that you have, right? And since you're like trying to have a board first and then attack, they're gonna attack your leader more often. So Radical Beam is gonna be active more often than not. You don't even play Sanji to take your own life, because you actually don't wanna take too much life. You wanna be, if possible, at 2 life for the whole game, and that's it. You don't wanna take more than that, and you don't wanna like accelerate that process by playing cards like Sanji. And that's the other way to play these licks. He really likes this one, and he thinks this is a better way to play the deck. Again, he's gonna have some troubles against Zoro, because again, you're not being as fast, but you're going taller. Like, your cards have more combo, so and you're playing more Red Hawks to kill their board and to have a more defensive turn. So where they cannot just go all in into one attack. You're playing more blockers to help you defend your own board. And you still play the jet pistol because it removes anything, and that's the reason. That's another thing, this card cannot be jet pistol in the mirror, so that's why also you want to play this card. 7k, it's just immune to this kind of effects, unless they pair it with something else, of course. If they go Otama jet pistol, but at that point they use 2 cards one that they can combo with, and another one to remove the card. To try to get rid of this kind of like 7Ks that, yeah, you can just replace them easily in your deck. And that's the deck. Those are the two ways to play this Luffy. We really like it. We think it has a really strong place in the meta. Is it better than Zoro? It depends. Again, if you're playing against a green deck, yeah, it is better than Zoro. If you're playing against a blue deck, it's better than Zoro, yeah. But if you're playing the mirror, then yeah, you're gonna have a harder time against any red mirror. But it's definitely a deck that you should consider, and it's a deck that if you're playing red, if you're in the market for being aggressive or being slightly more aggressive than your opponent, and you just want to play cards that have rush, consider Luffy. Luffy is a great option, and that's it. Thank you for watching.